What's up? There's always a little glitch. I'm like, did we start or like what?
Mhm.
Chokes in consciousness.
We're back.
And Michaela and I have a special episode for you all today. Hit them with it. What are
Dirty
we doing?
30.
Yeah. We are officially 30 episodes in Enlightened Ones. That's insane.
Yeah, that is wild. There's over 30 hours of us talking on the internet.
Yeah, like I would even say maybe double that because our average is close to 2 hours an episode. An
Dang.
hour and a half, 2 hours an
So
episode.
almost 60 hours of talking on the internet.
Yeah.
That's wild. We could
Yeah.
probably use AI to copy our voices by now.
Oh no, don't. We don't want that. Nah. That's all me. Yeah. You're welcome, internet, for Michaela and I to give you 60 hours of this relentless content.
Yeah, we're providing a good thing for the internet.
Yeah. So like and subscribe to all of your listening or watching platforms that you can find us on: YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Podbean, Player FM. Holler at you. Or us. Holler at us.
Yeah.
We'll be hollering at you for not liking and subscribing, giving us a follow.
Yeah. Did you call out our YouTube? Like our YouTube page.
That's right. Chokes and Consciousness YouTube page. You might have to put in Chokes and Consciousness Pod. You'll see our image or sticker, and go ahead and just hit the follow or subscribe.
The algorithm doesn't like chokes. You know, you
Get
type in chokes and you got to scroll down pretty far to find our podcast, but that's
now.
There. Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to be top 3.
You're right. Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, big ball and energy, like we said, manifestation, rich spirit.
Mm-hmm. Our trees are growing.
They haven't stopped. Even as we're now officially, I think we're past this stupid cold snap that we've had.
Yeah, I hope so. It's supposed to be 60 next week. I just hope it doesn't come back around. All the cold weather.
We usually get a little hit again during like spring break, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
If it's gonna hit us again, that's usually around that time.
Yeah. Hoping it doesn't, but never know.
It was just pretty disrespectful this time.
Yeah. And the negatives.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even want to go outside to walk my dog. I'm like, sorry, Rocky, it's so cold.
It is. Does she have a little sweater or something?
Yeah, she's fine though. She doesn't. The cold doesn't bother her.
Yeah. Didn't know, being short haired.
No, she's a thick girl. She stays
has a lot of body heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zoe's out here frolicking in the area and like doesn't understand you can't be out there that long when it's that cold. So she's like chilling, and I'm like, Zoe, what? Are we done? Are you good? And then she kind of like comes back limping. I'm like, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has to get real cold for Roxy to start tiptoeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she probably wouldn't even like boots.
No, I put socks on her feet before and she hates it.
I get it.
Yeah, like being free.
Yeah, 100%. So by the time this comes out next week, all of y'all are probably going to have suns out, guns out, tank tops and shorts, acting like we're in the middle of June while we're still in February. And wild because officially next Saturday, March 1st, February's over.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I can do without the cold. I could skip the entire winter.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I've been thinking about moving. Like, not seriously, but I want to move
to the
warm. Yeah.
Yeah. It hits different. Your body feels different. I just want like a cool 70 to 80 range every day.
Mm-hmm.
Nighttime, get about like high 50s, low 60s.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm. thriving.
Yeah. Would you move to California though?
I never say never. I would be open to it given whatever kind of circumstances were happening, and the disasters freak me out.
I know. Yeah, me too. Yeah, not fires, it's earthquakes.
If it's not that, it's mudslides. Okay, so you kind of getting it everywhere.
I know. Kansas is like the only safe spot right now.
Kind for now.
It's just flat. Yeah, for now. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. And with California, I mean, I get the income to living ratio is different than ours because of how much they make. It's just expensive as hell out there.
Yeah, we got to be big ballin' if we're moving California.
You already got to be big ballin' so you can go to California to be living in an average domain.
Yeah, but if you stay in Kansas, you're rich. Rich.
That's true. Now, I would say I do need to visit California before I would even consider. I've never been.
Yeah, me neither. Dang.
Trip.
Let's go.
Yeah, Emily's been a few times. It loves it. That'd be a place she'd like to be. I have a couple friends out there. Love it. They haven't come back yet. There's some. I think. Well, before they moved it, I guess Nogi Worlds was in California, but now for the last couple of years, it's been in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Dang. I bet we could find something out in California, though.
For sure. They have, I want to say, San Diego, Sacramento, like those kind of things. Visiting Northern California would be super lit just because of the forestry. I mean, given, I don't know. The fire wasn't in Northern California, but still. It's just like a lot still going on out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we should compete out there sometime.
Yeah. You know what else is pretty cool though? Like it's not sunny. And like it's cold, like, but I don't mind it. Even though it was a little gray. Pacific Northwest, Washington State. You ever been up there? Highly recommend it.
Yeah. How long were you out there?
I mean, I'd been out there a couple times, like been out there for like a weekend, like a week. I've been out there. I had a counseling conference it was like 4 years ago or whatever.
Was it gloomy? Like all rainy and gloomy?
Yes and no. I mean, it's gray, and the times that I was expecting it to be grayer than it was. Yeah. Right. I don't know if I would be able to like live there if you didn't grow up in that, or if that's just like naturally what you like or don't like. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, just the cold. I would say like the food, a lot of great Asian food around. I'm not a seafood person, but like obviously fresh seafood for you. You know, you go to that place. Forgot what is it? The market. They're throwing fish in the bags,
yeah,
and stuff. They got the first Starbies out there. They bowed it.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't been. I would go just to check it out, but
yeah, so go to Seattle. I mean, super expensive, super expensive, and definitely worth a visit to at least just see some other stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
we need to start traveling west. I feel like all the competitions have just been in the Midwest, or everything that I've been going to has been pretty local.
Yeah, which makes sense. I think, West would be fun. There's a lot of stuff that they do on the East side, but if I had to make a choice outside of Midwest, because I'm from here, West Coast.
Yeah, Sam.
East Coast.
No, Sam.
East Coast, a little too aggro for me, even though this is our episode today. When I hold a door open, I'm gonna need eye contact and a thank you. Or at least a head nod or some kind of acknowledgement that you appreciated what I just did. East Coast people mess around, look at you, and be mad that you held the door open for them.
I can see that just setting you off.
Yeah.
No eye contact, just looking down.
Nothing.
Through the door.
I'd say so. I'm gonna say something, and then it might be a problem. Yeah, you could see the scenario very much happening right now. That's why I can't be on the East Coast.
Yeah, West Coast vibes.
All day.
Yeah, you're doing Vegas, right, this year?
That's on the list. That's definitely on the list. It's pending, but it's on the list.
Nice. All right.
Yep. So yeah, we're gonna get to some upcoming events and stuff coming up here in a little bit, just so everybody can, if you're thinking about competing, you have competed, time gets away from us. Like we were saying, next week is officially March. You haven't checked calendars, wanting to prepare. Vegas, it's in August or over Labor Day weekend, but it's just around the corner. So it's not one of those things. As far as like finances, prepping, getting to hotels, you want to make sure you have some time to do that. So we'll talk about the stuff coming up. Put it on your calendar if you want to, or at least go spectate if you don't want to compete. But before we get to that, outside of this cold, overall, how's your week been, Michaela?
Been pretty chill. I got a few snow days this week, so wrestling was canceled Tuesday, and then Wednesday we had a snow day. Thursday we had a snow day, so I've just been
3 days.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
3 days this week. Yeah, I went to wrestling yesterday, but I kind of had 2 days off in the middle of the week, so it was awesome.
All right, kids are like, we haven't even been in school a month since we've been back post Christmas.
Yeah, I think they've had like 6 or 7 snow days since Christmas.
Oh yeah, I'm like, is that going to be added at the end of this, like spring?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know how many snow days they get.
Yeah, me neither. But they're canceling school just because it's cold, which is kind of wild.
I mean, it is. It's that wind chill, and people on the bus stop. But no, I'm like, that's just an interesting kind of transition that I think has happened in the last couple years. I don't know. I don't remember this being a thing even 5 years ago. But again, as a person with no human children, I don't know if that was a thing or not. So
yeah, same. I just remember going to school no matter what. Like when I was in high school, it'd be cold, you'd still go. They wouldn't cancel it.
The only thing that would be canceled would be the excessive like snow and ice because the buses couldn't drive. But this is like, it's so cold the buses won't start. And I was like, at what point in time did that start happening? Like, is it has it gotten colder? Like, because it used to be, buses start, it's over. It's like you're going. And now I'm just kind of like, well, what are yes, it's colder, climate change, and like how much has that actually impacted versus like we're just kind of making a call if it gets a certain temp.
Yeah, do you think the buses are just getting old? So now the buses can't keep up?
Hey,
maybe we need some new buses? That's
a fair theory. You ain't got no money, your school budget's low. Do you got, or maybe it's not even the school budget, but just like the overall Department of Transportation or something, like what kind of money are they putting in maintenance into these school buses to make sure that they are equipped?
Yeah, I can't imagine the buses I rode in high school are still running.
Absolutely not.
They were rough back in the day. I'm sure who knows if they're running. They probably shouldn't be running.
No. I mean, I thought I was big balling. Like when I started riding the school bus in middle school, and like 6th grade, like we didn't have like the regular bus with like the regular hood, like nose. Like we had them new buses that had
the flap.
I was like, oh, look at us upgraded. You couldn't tell me nothing about bus number 12 out here.
That's funny.
I don't see those buses anymore though.
Yeah.
I actually see the older ones, which is weird to me. I'm like, did we regress?
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the flat buses. But were those safe? Like having nothing but flat? If you hit something, how is that safe?
But well, if you think about it, that's how the public buses transportation, this has the flat.
Yeah, you're right.
It's weird to drive, I would imagine.
Yeah. And probably feel like a roller coaster, like you're right on the edge.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like when and I would never do this again, ever. If I have like a long move, this was a one and done experience for me. When I was moving back, having to get my stuff, I was moving back from Minnesota here. And so I like did 2 trips to where I like drove my car with Zoe, dropped her off at the grandparents for like a night, and then I picked up and then all the little stuff that I had, and then I had to get a rental car or a rental truck. Got a good deal, friends in high places, you know. So I got the truck here, and it was like brand new. I think it only had like 20,000 miles on it, like one of those enterprise big rental trucks that's flat. I'll never drive that thing again, ever. Like on the highway. In town, I can do it, whatever, but that was the worst experience driving that on a highway.
Damn.
One had nothing in it on the way there, and I'm driving, talking about flat land, going through Missouri, going through Iowa, the worst. And like, if I were to get to a certain speed, it felt like I was kind of driving on ice, but there was no ice or anything.
What?
Because like the wind, you kind of feel like you're swaying, but you're not. So I'm like, can't go past 60. So this 6.5 hour drive then turned to like 8.5 hours. Yeah. And then coming back, you would think it would be better because I got all this stuff in the truck, me and my roommate's stuff. No. Once I hit a certain speed, it was about the same. And I'm just like, you get a little too fast and you feel like you're drifting.
Dang.
I was white knuckling it for hours. Hated it.
Yeah, that'd be scary.
So that is a weird feeling. Yeah, you're right there. Like there's no hood. And you're just like exposed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't be safe. Wear your seatbelt. If you're having a flat vehicle.
100%. One time our bus crashed into another bus.
No.
Like when we parked out front because middle schoolers had no chill, right? And so our bus driver, R.I.P. Leon, back in the day, Leon, he was an older gentleman, and bless his heart, you know, you're driving a bus for middle schoolers, gonna get loud, things are gonna get rowdy. So middle schoolers were popping off, doing middle school stuff, and we had just parked the buses in the line to go into school for the day, and somebody starts yapping, getting in each other's faces, and Leon's always like, hey, he'd always look in the rear view mirror. He's like, all right, stop. And so he did that, but they didn't stop. And so he like got up real fast, but he forgot to put the bus in park. And then all of a sudden, bam, we just smacked into the bus in front of us. Everybody was cool, but all the kids in both buses like collapsed into the lane, and then it was just a broken window. It was all good.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
But if it was a hood, it may have messed up the whole thing. So maybe the flat top in that scenario actually saved a little money from potential damage.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I want to look into that to see like what's actually safer.
I don't know, but it's wild out here. So sounds like, yeah, you've had a pretty chill week, enjoying you feeling a little more well rested?
Kind of. I've been rolling more this week, so I'm actually feeling sore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I feel all right.
All flexed up and aggro this week?
A little bit. Not as much as a couple weeks ago.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah. Are you feeling pretty aggro though?
I was feeling aggro. It was because I was a little stir crazy. Mm-hmm. That's what it was, because I got some decent rolls in last Saturday at open mat, but then like this week, you know, just having like getting in a little later on a Monday. So I got some decent rolls in, but not rolled. I think I had like 3 rolls on Monday night. And then Tuesday, because of the snow stuff, I didn't get to go to any open mats. Mm-hmm. Didn't work with my schedule. And then Wednesday, I had to have class. So Wednesday night's already going to. So yeah, I was like, I need to like, I've been inside. It's cold. I'm annoyed with it being cold. I haven't had any time to like maneuver with this energy. So just had to get some of that out yesterday.
Yeah. It happens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it was like, it wasn't an angry aggressive, right? It was like, I'm wound up and I kind of just need to like,
Yeah, burn some energy.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it happens.
But yeah, not a bad week overall. In comparison, the last couple of weeks, other people's energy, my own stuff going on, I would say this is feels like a little bit of a better week, feels more, even though stir crazy, more work productive kind of week. We get my class started and dissertation stuff and obviously therapy stuff. Body's feeling decent. So yeah, decent week so
Nice.
far.
Yeah, how was your first class on Wednesday?
Went well. We KU decided to close their campuses again, but Johnson County did not. So my students, after sending an email, a lot of them didn't really feel all that comfortable having class because we were just talking about it's cold. But I'm like, okay, if everything else is cold and everything else is around cold, by the time we get out of class by 9 p.m., it's going to be the high is 1. So gave them the option. I was like, we're not going to not have class, but we can meet over Zoom. So we
Nice.
did. Seems like it's going to be hopefully an engaging kind of class, because it's one thing, if you have students and they're just sitting there looking at you and you're talking at them. I'm like, I am talking at you, but I also want to talk with you. So I need some engagement. I did have to tell them at the very beginning, like, I'm gonna need your videos on. I'm not gonna stare at a whole bunch of black screens right now. I don't know what it's a thing that like since COVID, like people are just like, I'm okay, we're doing this, but I'm just like gonna have my screen off, and I'm like, I need you to not be doing other things, and this is not what that is. You wouldn't be in a meeting and just like an in-person meeting or class and be completely disengaged.
Yeah, that'd be weird teaching and everybody's screens are off.
Yeah. So we got it together.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's good. We'll plan on meeting in person next week, but that just adds a little bit more on the plate with class prep and having to take a jiu-jitsu night out. So yeah, we out here.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you on Wednesday
I
night.
know. Sad. But just a couple months, think 8 weeks, and then I'm back in there.
All right.
I'll be in for spring break at least, because they have the spring break. We don't have class the week of the 19th, I think, or March 19th.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's the week, cold week. We're getting past it. So moving forward and segueing, upcoming events to look out for and stuff coming up on the horizon. Michaela, hit the people.
Yeah, we got a lot of events coming up. So for like MMA and kickboxing, there's fights tomorrow night, February 22nd, in Kansas City, and then one in Springfield, Missouri. I want to go watch them. It's just I've been so busy,
Yeah.
Like I want to make it to some of these, but maybe later. On March 1st, there's going to be a fight card at Memorial Hall, and then March 1st there's going to be another one, pro and amateur MMA. That's in Kansas City, and then March 22nd there's going to be a Shamrock card in Missouri. Oh, and then they just announced the Crash card is going to be May 10th this year.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's going to be local in Lawrence. So I might think about fighting, but I need to train first, so I'm not committing to anything. But that's coming up.
Maybe that entry back into the gym could look like March time after AGF.
Oh yeah, that's the plan. And then for jiu-jitsu, there's AGF's coming to KC March 8th. I'm competing on that one. There's a new jiu-jitsu event called Blue Fight Championship, and that's based off of Blue Corner. It's the same dudes that run that. They're running this. So that's new, but that's March 29th. I probably won't do that one. And then Orbit Submission Series is having another one April 12th. And then June 21st, Subspectrum's going to be in Des Moines. I'm going to that one. And then jujitsu's going to Branson August 2nd and 3rd, and then we got Vegas Masters Worlds and Jiu-Jitsu Con August 28th and through August 30th. That's quite a bit.
A lot. That's a lot coming up.
And that's not including like all the IBJJF and then all the AGF competitions that are coming up too. So there's a lot. But it's cool though. Like I'm going to be competing so much this summer.
You're going to get some great exposure.
Yeah, we'll see. I think from now until August, I got 7 events lined up.
Dang.
So yeah, it's going to be busy.
Mm-hmm. How you feeling for AGF coming up in a couple weeks?
I'm feeling all right. Like I'm feeling good. I'm a little nervous because my one event is any belt rank and then any weight division over 135. So that's going to might be a challenge, but
you got it.
We'll just see what happens.
Exactly. So rule set wise, what's the normal rules? Like, what does that look like?
I'm not sure. I don't know if we're following AGF rules or
it's not the weird rules like you had at the event before.
I don't think so. I think this is, if there's points, you can get points throughout the whole match. I don't think it's separated. You know, like my last tournament was 3 minute. You can't score until 3 minutes in. So I won't have to deal with that. But I think if we're doing AGF rules, AGF has changed some stuff. So I gotta
wonder
check
if it's
it
like
out.
more like leg lock stuff, maybe.
I think everything's legal. Like every submission's legal. I just don't know.
Even okay. Yeah, look into that for sure.
Yeah, no, I know. I got 2 weeks to prep for it, so I got to figure out the rules. It's just there's so many rule sets for every competition. Everything's different.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of annoying. Like, I got to learn some new stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's also like it's like the different organizations, they all want to have their own set of rules. And so when you're at like these other events or local events, they're different organizations, and so they have different rule sets. But if you have like IBJJF, even it being in different states and being in different countries, the rule set is one size fits all.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to figure it out.
Yeah, you got it though. Okay.
But I don't know. I like submission onlys. Like I like when it's simple, no points. Just
go for the kill.
Yeah. And then if at the end, if nobody got anything, it's whoever was the most aggressive. And like, I can do that.
You got that all day. Yeah, I haven't been in a sub only, but I do like theoretically align more with that format.
Yeah. Yeah, because I hate stalling. I hate the points halfway. I really didn't like that because I feel like I score more at the beginning because I'm the aggressor. So I'm passing and moving. But then if I make mistakes and my opponent's moving on me more at the end, then they're scoring at the end, whereas I'm not scoring at all because I already, like I did a lot of moving already.
Yeah, I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand why wait 3 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know.
That just seems, one, to even wait doesn't make any sense to me, but to wait 3 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know. Half and half.
Not it. I wouldn't be here for that rule set.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm going to do the subspectrum again this summer, and I'm just going to have to get used to that rule set.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Did you mention the high school girls wrestling state?
Yeah, state wrestling's next Friday and Saturday. So a week from now.
All right. Shout out to the high school ladies. How many?
We got 9 total going
to state.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, 6 from Lawrence High and then 3 from Free State.
Do you know how many of the girls went last year?
I know we had 1 from Lawrence High go last year.
Hey, 1, or even if it was like 1 to 3, from that to 9 is pretty huge.
Yeah, it's awesome. And we got some like first year wrestlers going. So it's pretty sweet to see that.
Okay. And that's also that hits different too. It's like the competitions, like the matches and stuff before regionals and state, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on everybody's different, everybody has their own goals and whatnot. I will say, like for me, I've always had that athletic competitive nature. Like I, want to get better and better. But I will say, like my freshman year, and the only sport I went in, obviously that was my main sport, but track and field,
Mm-hmm.
I was one of the only two freshmen to go to state that year. And it was just a huge eye opener. You see upperclassmen and like what they're doing. You see their marks, you see their numbers. It's just a bigger event. You see the people that comes out, and it kind
Mm-hmm.
of gives you oh, like this is something like I want to get to this level again. Like, so it gives like a drive of that motivation. And so I'm curious what that experience will be like for your
Mm-hmm.
ladies next week.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't really thought about that before. Like going to state, just how big of an experience it is. Because I also went in track and field when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're there in front of a bunch of people in a huge stadium competing.
Yeah,
That is pretty wild. And
it
to have
changes your
that,
perspective.
yeah, yeah. I haven't thought about that, but it definitely did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be curious to know. I mean, I think about it in the same way as when people have gone to Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and maybe your first time competing, or maybe that was your first time competing on that level. I think overwhelmingly, even if people don't compete after that, um I have noticed that it gives people a drive to like, oh, I really want to do this, or it just gives that extra like kick. Or even people that come as family members, 'cause I've seen that too. Family members come to like, dang, I want to train now. If they go to like a
Yeah.
bit, because it's just like, I don't know, it's the environment, the atmosphere is just contagious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of awesome going to something like that too, and then going to a more local event and not being nervous for the local event because you've competed in such a large event at Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Never
awesome.
gone.
Yeah, the amount of energy at Vegas is crazy. Just the amount of athletes in that one building.
You feel all that everybody's energy just working in the
Yeah.
same space.
And you're all going through like competition nerves, or you're all prepping, feeling that energy together.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Yeah,
lot.
it is. Um, so shout out to the high school ladies, to Lawrence High School, Free State, and all the coaches. Take the ladies out there, and
Yeah.
hopefully it's not about the wins or losses. It's just about the experience. So hopefully they take something away from it, that just continues to build the program.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some wins, but we'll see.
Yeah.
This
Get
will
them,
be
Coach
my
Michaela.
Yeah, this is my first time going to state wrestling,
Yeah.
as a coach, but this is my
Hey,
first time ever, so it'll
it
be
might
pretty sweet.
might change or sharpen some things in your mindset too, being exposed to that as a first time coach.
Yeah. Yeah, regionals was fun. Like even just being at regionals and watching the girls win and just like the emotions and the excitement from everybody, like that's pretty sweet. Seeing
Yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
and just all the growth over this whole season. That's fun. I think
Yeah.
coaching's fun.
Hey, that sounds like an assessment that you came to towards the end of the season. You didn't know. I think you were excited to do it, right?
Mhm.
And it doesn't mean that it doesn't come with this trials and tribulations, just like anything. There's going to be frustrations, but overall, you didn't know what to expect, and it sounds like it the coaching aspect like stood out to you. Like, I do like this.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fun. Like I like meeting new people, seeing like kids grow. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty awesome. Just getting to know all these personalities. Like
Yeah.
our team is so funny. Like everybody's such a character, so it's fun to just be around that. And younger
Mm-hmm.
kids have good energy too. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
positivity that comes from high schoolers is like I forgot about that. Being an adult and being away from that, like I didn't realize how positive it
Pure.
is. Yeah, yeah, pure. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Because if you're looking busted or you come up with some messed up energy, they're gonna let you know. They're
Yeah.
gonna let you know too. Yeah.
I got called a stegosaurus yesterday. 'Cause
Dang.
I was wearing blue on blue, but they said I just look like a dinosaur.
Because you were wearing blue on blue?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I don't know.
Dang, that was specific too. They didn't just say a dinosaur.
I know, a
they
stegosaurus. I had to look it up to see which one was a stegosaurus.
I mean, was it accurate?
I don't think I look like that, but
All right. If you had to pick a dinosaur, like, do you know which one you would probably be?
no, I'd have to think about that.
I could see a raptor.
Yeah, one of those are those the littler ones that stand up.
Yeah. Vicious, smart.
Yeah,
I can see that.
A lot of my dinosaur knowledge comes from Land Before Times.
I can't do it. That movie's too sad from the beginning. You can't hit me with that at the very beginning and then think I'm going to be locked in for the remainder of those series.
Yeah, I don't think I think I watched like the second Land Before Times when I was a kid, and I saw the first one later down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see the sad part till later.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Man, I know we talked about this before, but they really showed us no mercy. Like, I feel like the sadness in Disney and Pixar movies now, it's sad. And I feel like it's more sad for the adults because like they hit more on like a deeper level, like we were talking about, like soul,
Yeah,
and whatnot. But damn, the movies back in the day, they knew how to hit a kid emotionally. You're going to be an orphan. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I remember skipping past the first part of Finding Nemo because the mom dies.
Yeah.
That was scary. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's just too much. I'll never get over the Mufasa death. Like that, it still gets me as an adult. But watching that for the first time as a kid, whoa, inconsolable. Yeah. I didn't understand it. Scar was evil. Could never tell me anything about him. Yeah. I think 10 out of 10 worst Disney death ever.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have to show it like they did.
I know. Yeah, you're right. They kind of pretty dark with it.
Like they had him going up there. They had this brother moment. He thought my brother was going to save me. Yeah. And then Scar's looking at him in his eyes like, okay, brother. And then just lets him go. And then you're going to hit us with like the scene of him like yelling as he's no. And then you're going to cut to the scene a little Simba. Daddy. I was like, oh, yeah. That was way too much.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I just replayed that whole scene and I was like, dang, it hit me a little bit.
I know.
Yeah. You still need to go watch Sad too. Again, based off of orphans, like the two became orphans together. But you need to watch Mighty Joe Young, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. What's it about?
The big gorilla. And has Charlize Theron in it.
All right,
I don't want to like give it away, but like they both become orphans in an unfortunate event. Okay. And then Joe ends up growing into this like genetically wild giant gorilla, like spectacle kind of gorilla. And then of course the greed comes in and they're like, we're gonna save Joe and then put him in this facility. Then shit pops off.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, you should. But it's sad at the beginning. And then you get rageful in the middle of it because you're like, F people. Like, I want Joe to, to go off. R.I.P. Harambe, because we'll never forget.
Oh, yeah, all right.
But yeah, recommend it.
Yeah. I think I'd rather have movies be sad in the beginning than at the end.
Yeah,
Because they mess me
that's
up
true.
when it's at the end. Like, you really made me watch a 2-hour movie and you're going to end it like that?
Dang. Yeah, that's true. I need to like okay, hit me at the beginning and then pick me up. But this one's gonna give you like I'm telling you, you're gonna be real mad at the begin or at the middle of well the beginning, yes, sad, but you're gonna be real pissed off. And then in the middle of it, when it starts getting intense, like you might want to come for dude.
Is the ending well? Like, is it
The endings, yes. I don't
more
want to spoil
positive?
nothing, but the ending, yep, positive. We come full circle.
All right, that's good. I can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And when I think about it, they kind of again, kid wise, I'm like, the karma of that, did like we really need to see that? Like that I mean, I agree with it. I'm all about violence. Choose violence. But when I think about it, I was like, dang, we really kind of like was like, yeah, when somebody doing this and get your revenge in this way.
Have
But
you
that's all I
seen
can say.
Have you seen Bridge to Terabithia?
No. Is that the same?
It's sad at the end. Messed me up. I've only seen
Dang.
that movie once.
One and done. Over.
Yeah.
Damn.
I just
What's it
hate those.
about?
I It's about, I think, like an imaginary world type deal. I mean, I haven't seen it. I've only seen it that one time, and that was like
Yeah.
over 10 years ago. But the girl dies at the end because she's crossing the bridge over the creek to get to their magical world or whatever, and she falls in and dies. But
Dang.
but that happens at the very end. So you watch this whole movie about this magical land, it's all cool, and then at the end the girl dies.
That's sad.
Yeah. I hate movies like that.
Yeah. That's somebody just sitting there being like, crush their soul at the end of this movie.
Yeah, like let's make a cool magical movie and then wreck a bunch of kids at the end.
Something to be looked into for the people that do that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dirty.
I
Yeah.
wonder I wonder who is making movies like that. Probably some asshole.
Oh, 100%. 100%. They're not some jolly kind of person. That's somebody who's like misery,
Mhm.
pain.
Got to spread it to others.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They're like venom. They just
Mm.
want to spread that nastiness. Yeah. But speaking of spread nastiness, though, and dirty, dirty 30. So we are not actually going to stay positive, but maybe kind of today and what we have. Obviously, we got our content today. We've got our topic of the week. And instead of Zen talk today, we got aggro talk for y'all.
Yeah.
We have aggro talk. We're switching it up. No Zen today, but there will be a message at the end. And the topic of the week is going to be in regard to the art of aggressive mentality and aggressive jujitsu. What is that? What does that mean? How can we use it? So first and foremost, getting into our content to start off the dirtiness, dirty moves of jujitsu. Which do we like and which do we hate? Are there any dirty moves that we like?
I don't know.
I don't know if I would consider this dirty, depending on who it's on, what the situation is, um, and like what's your intent. I would, but I wouldn't say neon belly.
Mm. Mhm.
I think it's a dirty move if you're like, if I'm doing that to like a 7-year-old.
Like, why would you ever neon belly a 7-year-old?
Exactly. Yes. Valid question. That's when it becomes that's when it becomes dirty.
Mhm.
Or like somebody who's like 250 pounds putting neon belly on like a 130-pound person.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you're neon belling to make the other person suffer, I'd say a dirty move. But if you're neon bellying to just get in the mount, not so dirty.
No. And there's a certain amount of pressure, right? It's a spectrum.
Yeah, that too.
Are you literally trying to see my soul when you put your knee on my belly? Or are you just trying to create some pressure that forces me to move so you can advance, or I move so you can do something else?
Yeah. Or is it straight knee? Or is it shin?
Makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have knee on belly, and are you pulling me into it with all of your might and looking at me in my eyes while you do it?
Making eye contact?
Yeah, that's personal.
Yeah.
Like we clearly need to have a conversation, because there's something that happened that I didn't know about. If you're gonna look me dead in my eyes and then neon soul me.
Has that happened to you before?
Yeah.
Really?
Not in a bad way, but there for a while there was like this, when I first started, and like I'd say like the first 2 years, I don't know what the mentality was, but it was how people do mother's milk now. Like we introduce that, then there's like one or two people like that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same thing with neon belly. Back when I started, it was like that was the move. It was like, yeah. So then it was almost like this rite of passage when you were getting promoted of like, yeah, the more pain, the more respect, and the better. And it was like, this just sucks. I don't see people doing that anymore now, which has been a funny shift, but it definitely was part of the culture there for a hot minute.
Damn, that sucks. Everybody's just trying to get it.
Yeah.
Belly.
That's definitely a cardio. That's a pain or cardio tap for sure. Because people are trying to get you to tap with a neon belly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's rude.
It would happen.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Especially like took a breath, and then now the knee comes back, drives more in, and they're pulling you up more. It's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't had a bad neon belly like that before.
Lucky.
I've been squished, but I haven't been squished to my soul.
Yeah. Now, I will use neon belly. Like I'll use like, or neon gut if I'm trying to pass. It's not an excessive amount of pressure, but it's not comfortable. But this is also where it can become dirty, but I don't do this. I'm always mindful about it. If I have that kind of pressure on somebody's gut and I'm trying to pass or trying to get them to move and give me their back, like what I won't do is continue just driving in, and I won't, if they move away from me, I'm not then gonna put my knee in their ribs. Like as soon as my knees like starts to slide on somebody's ribs, I immediately kind of take my weight off a little bit and then come to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some people are like, put the knees on the ribs. Don't do that.
Yeah. Well, Carl will say, like, use your shin to push their guts up into their ribs. Like, damn.
Different breed.
Yeah.
Now in competition, now we're strictly talking in training.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm overtraining and you're doing these kinds of like a neon belly like that or neon ribs, okay, we either have a specific kind of partnership that like us showing respect to each other is going hard and doing those kinds of moves, or I don't like you. I don't think it's like an in between.
Mm-hmm.
Competition, fair game. I don't know. It's not. I don't think that would be considered dirty because that's part of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you could tap somebody in competition with neon belly, like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's happened before. Not to me. I'm just saying, like I've seen that happen to people.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
You probably are questioning a lot after you have that experience.
Oh yeah. Tapping from a neon belly. Dang.
It's almost like cardio tapping.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, dang.
Yeah, it probably hurts, like your guts, your belly, whatever.
Yeah.
Dang.
Not it. So could be dirty, could turn into dirty, not all the way dirty. A little sus though. But I don't mind a good neon belly. I don't like the dirtiness of a neon belly being done to me.
What do you think's the dirtiest move? Would you put Neon Billy at the top or?
No. Um, I know we actually talked about it right before. I'm gonna put that as a second because I feel like number one is kind of like it's not a move, but it's like the concept of these two things wrapped into one, to where I think can become dirty and negligent depending on your experience, your lack of knowledge, your
Mm.
what you know better of not to do. So if you're throwing on, again, and this is in a training, and also like you're in competition, but like you do what you got to do, go hard. And at the same time, people, I got to go to work on Monday. Other people have stuff going on. We don't want to have big medical bills or whatever. So don't be an ass to hurt somebody for the sake of hurting somebody. Accidents happen and whatnot. But when we talk about the speed that we're putting submissions on and position before submission, if you're not in the right position or you don't have the right angle, then you try to crank something real fast or whatever, that can be real, that's dirty to me. Now, it's not necessarily dirty if you're a newbie, you don't know, you're just throwing stuff on. That's a conversation that us upper belts should be having with you, to be like, hey, if this happens, if you are trying to go for a heel hook, one, you shouldn't be doing that at your stage. And if you're going to be doing something like that, communicate with the person that you're, hey, is this okay that we do this in our role? And if I'm going to do something like that, know the technique for one, to make sure I have it locked in appropriately and don't rip something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But past a white belt and whatnot, you're doing stuff like that, it's dirty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. So wrist locks would be your number one?
That would be my number two.
Your number two.
Yeah. So if I put those in a technically a move, but it's not a move with the speed and everything, wrist lock would definitely be that number two, maybe like number one move spot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just cheat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not cool. Like I have a bad wrist. I've had a bad wrist for like a year now because of a wrist lock.
Oh, that's terrible. They come on quick. Your wrists aren't. I probably know. I already know.
Yeah. Our home girl.
Dang, couldn't help herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got to be careful with those. One, it does, like, Nikki's going to laugh at this, but just as the same comparison that I compared last night when Nikki and I were talking about this as it related to Girl Scout cookies, because I got my Girl Scout cookies in, and I got my Thin Mints, and I got my peanut butter patties lit, and she was like, oh, which peanut butter cookies are these? I was like, the patties. What do you mean? That's the only one you should get. And she was like, oh, I like the sandwiches. And I'm like, you would be the one that likes sandwiches. She's like, what is that supposed to mean? There's two different types of people. Just like I was telling Nikki. You either, like, some people like both. I don't. But there's a difference if you like Reese's Pieces, but you don't like Reese's Cups. Different people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's a different kind of person that likes and wants to throw up wrist locks on people. You have to be a type of person to do that.
Yeah, you're right. We really don't have too many people that do that at our gym.
Nope. Not at all. And the people that don't like doing them, they have the same sentiment. Like, it's almost like you insulted, like when I said we were talking about wrist locks, I was talking with Danielle, I think a week or two ago, and she was just like, it's just like disgust that comes over. Like, I don't want to do, like, even if it's there, I'm not gonna do a wrist lock.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it to be funny, and again, I'm not gonna like slam on it. Or it's more of like a break you down slowly and be like, okay. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, even if it's there, it's not in here because it's not me. Like a peanut butter sandwich, it's not even in the thought process when we're talking about Girl Scout peanut butter cookies.
Yeah, same here. Like, I'm not ever thinking about wrist locks. unless somebody yells it at me and I feel it and I'm like, oh, I do have a wrist lock here, but it's nothing that like comes across my mind.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the only people that do or I've only been wrist locked by Matt and Kate.
Yep. Dang.
Those are the
And
only two.
you know who Kate got it from?
Carl?
Yep. He offers dinners for the white belts that put in wrist locks. You know who else got? We haven't seen him in a while. I think he's got, whatever he's got going on. Rich, not
Yeah.
older Rich, but white belt Rich. His first competition at AGF, he won with the wrist lock. I'm like, you would do like you would. You seem like the type that would be a win for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is funny. Like wrist lockers are just a different type of person.
They really are. It's just like something in their soul that's just like die.
Yeah. And it's the worst, not the worst injury, but it sucks because you use your wrist and your hand all the time.
Oh my gosh, that stuff is terrible. Yeah, when it wasn't even a wrist lock. I don't even know what I did, but when I had that hand and wrist issue, like towards the end of last year, it would just be like I was trying to put a pan in the oven, and I'd just be like, or just like, you don't realize, like how important, or how easy it is for like a little pain to just throw off everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I was getting annoyed because I'd pick up my milk and my wrist would hurt. I'd try to lock my door and my wrist would hurt. Like everything made my wrist hurt.
Dang. Not to pour my glass a cup of milk.
Yeah. Every morning I put milk in my coffee and I'm like, it hurts my wrist to pick up the milk jug.
Dang. But you know what? Maybe this milk will make it grow stronger. That's what they told us. Got milk.
I know. Back in the day.
Lies.
Does it not help? Because I feel like it might help a little bit.
I think it does help a little bit, but I think like the dairy, the overindulgence in the amount of dairy versus like we have so many plant-based different type of grasses of milk that you can get out here. I think you can still get the nutrients that you need, but maybe not so much dairy from an actual like the cow.
Yeah.
Milk slaps though.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it in my coffee.
Same. I'll do the half and half milk combination.
Nice. Yeah.
Because they have that.
Good.
You should check that out.
I didn't know they had that.
Yeah. Go into the cold creamer section. It'll be right over there by like the heavy cream and stuff. It's a white bottle, purple lettering. It says half and half with milk.
All right.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I like a nice creamy coffee.
Same. That's why I like mochas. If I go somewhere to get a coffee, that's why I like mochas with oat milk. You ever have coffee with oat milk?
No.
You'll never go back. You'll never go back in a public setting. When we do coffee next week, I'm not telling you what to order, but whatever you order, if you get coffee, if you happen to get coffee, get it with oat milk.
All right.
It's gonna change your life. It's so creamy. It makes it so creamy.
Yeah, that's nice. There's some other milks. I'm not sure what Jeff drinks, but you pour that in hot liquid and it like crumbles up. It's disgusting.
Ew.
So I've just been using normal milk because I don't want to force.
What kind of milk that is?
I don't know if it's soy milk or I don't know what it was, but it was
don't
not
go soy. My only milks I'm doing is like the regular milk, vitamin D if I'm feeling extra creamy, 2%, or I'm doing oat milk or almond milk. Almond milk, you don't get the creaminess though.
Yeah, it's pretty watery.
Yeah. Load up on your creams. Okay. Sticking on dirty moves. What other dirty moves are there that you don't like? What is wrist lock rank up there for you?
Yeah,
what about some other ones?
Yeah, I was trying to think about like what else is annoying. I don't like bad chokes.
Yeah, like a crank or like a trachea choke.
A punch choke that ain't
Yeah.
working. Those are frustrating. Just punching
Deviate,
that
just let it
bitch.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, cranks. I hate having my neck being pulled on or my
Yeah.
head.
Mm-hmm.
That's an instant tap now. Like I'm not messing around with my neck.
Oh no, never.
I don't know. Do you have any other dirty moves? Like there's always the elbows. Like that's annoying. Like
Yeah.
elbows to the thighs. Or
Nikki. Nikki's got a few dirty moves, and she would agree. Like when she stomps on your shin
yeah.
to pass
With her shin?
with her
That's rough.
foot. Like she's standing like that, but when she's like standing up and she just steps steps on like your foot or your shin or your thigh.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't step on me like I'm a bug, Nikki. Like damn.
Yeah. I think that's always kind of funny though when you just
Yeah.
try to step on someone. Like it's so rude, but I don't know. It works
Hey,
sometimes.
multiple things can be true. I feel like there's a little dirtiness in there.
Yeah.
And then what was the other she used to do? She used to get me a lot with it. I was laughing, but it wasn't funny. It's like when somebody tickles you and you're like, you're laughing, but you're like, stop it. Is when she would put her chin in like the cartilage in your ribs to like pass. Yeah, that
really?
was or the elbows, like chin or elbow. It was not pleasant, but it would like kind of make me laugh, but it wasn't pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
It would make me move. What she needed to do was effective, but it wasn't it for me.
Yeah. Damn, Nikki.
She's gonna be laughing. She'd be like, "Yep."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, or just in general, like anything to do with like elbows and face. And again, like stuff is cool in competition, and there's just stuff that's just like training wise. We can still get it in. We can still do what we need to do and test boundaries and things, but like let's not put an elbow in somebody's like just jaw and like you know, that's not cool.
No, that isn't cool. I'm having flashbacks of people who do certain things.
Hey, they know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, honestly, we didn't talk about this, but look, we get it. Jiu-jitsu, you're sweating, there's a lot of stuff going on, but a literal dirty move is coming in hot mess with your hygiene.
Yeah.
That's a dirty move.
Yeah.
Wash yourself.
Yeah,
cut your fingernails.
That too.
Cut your fingernails. Oh man. Yep.
Brush your teeth.
Yep.
Wear deodorant. Don't spray cologne. I feel like that's a big thing.
It's not going to cover up nothing. It's just going to make it. It's basically like being a middle schooler and them trying to use Axe. Like, but we can still smell everything that's happening. You just tried to cover it up with this Walmart Axe spray.
Yeah. And it sucks rolling and smelling that too. Like just really strong smells. Whether it's like flowers or BO, like it still is annoying.
It's just strong. Yeah. We get it. Everybody's got their scent. We're not all smelling like roses. You're sweating, pH stuff is combining. So like get it. I don't think too much of it if I'm like, well, all right. But if it's like, whoa, all right. It's like, hey. Might have to have a conversation.
Yeah. Tell Heidi, make her.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Make Heidi have the combo.
Like Heidi, they're stinky.
But necessary. Got to have those conversations.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for dirty. You got anything else on that one?
Covering people's mouths.
Oh yeah, that is.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
That's again a certain kind of person that wants to cover
You're
your
right. That's like
mouth.
the same as the wrist lockers.
Yeah, like what are you thinking? Like I want to know like what
Mhm.
do you think? Like you thinking of like you wanted to do this to somebody out in the wild? Cause like it's
Yeah.
not it was like I like that's my submission of choice is choking people, but like not killing them.
Mhm.
That's like you want to kill me.
Yeah. Or it's just rude. They're just being
Yeah.
a turd.
Like putting hands in face is it's kind of like somebody like you're going for a take. Like it's almost like the adult when you were a kid, like putting their hand on your forehead and you like couldn't hit them.
Mhm.
A little bit of that energy.
Yeah, for sure.
100% agreed. All right.
And I just thought of another
Yeah,
one. Using your weight to smash smaller people.
that's dirty. I would agree with you. Yeah. Because there's a difference. You can have pressure, but like, at what point in time am I trying to use my size over a technique with somebody who's maybe getting the best of me or I can't control them? Like, you know, it's just like know your body, know your size. I should be able to roll comfortably with a 7 or 8 year old and still being able to give them a little bit of work, but knowing I'm not going to put my whole body weight on
Mhm.
them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a crazy ego thing when you see grown ass dudes lay on top of somebody that's half their size. Like that's crazy.
And yeah, the person just disappears under them.
Mhm.
Because you can also tell as the smaller person of the bigger person when they're using their size and when they're just kind of out techniquing you.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I bet it feels nice to be a big, like 200 some pound man.
Yeah, for real. One day, I just want to have like one day. Let me see what it's like to be built like Gabby Garcia.
We'd all be avoiding you at the gym. Like,
Yeah,
oh
you would.
yeah, Deja's coming in tonight.
Nobody would give me eye contact for real. Or okay, well, who would be like small body wise, but like fast? Or I guess like a Mighty Mouse, like that kind of size, like like
Mhm.
5'3", 5'4", but just like wildly athletic and explosive. Like you just get out of stuff, it's magic.
Mhm. Yeah, would you rather be Mighty Mouse or Gabby Garcia? For a day.
I'm probably gonna say Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'd like being that big.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it would be nice to smash people, but you also leave a lot of space and you also leave a lot of like, I don't know, that's just a lot of body to be carrying around. There's a difference between
Mhm.
like you're tall and whatnot, and then like a Gabby Garcia tall and frame.
Oh yeah.
Like she's just a big human.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody above 6 foot is a big person. Or
Yeah.
like females above 6 foot. Like you're just a
Mm-hmm.
large person.
Yeah. Big frame.
Yeah. I think
I
it'd
think
be
I would just
fun.
want you'd pick Gabby Garcia.
I think so. Just for a day though. I wouldn't want to be like that forever.
Yeah. I mean, that would be kind of crazy just to be like, just basically like hold your like hand on somebody and they just like couldn't move. And you'd be like,
Mhm.
this is nothing for me.
You
That'd
got
be a
like
wild experience.
superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. I think just being big and knowing that you're big and like I want to take up space because I'm huge, you know, experiencing that for a day, that'd be wild.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't want it, but if I had a choice, still be a pretty cool experience.
You know, you're probably just a little bit taller than Mighty Mouse, right? You're probably close to the same height.
Whoa, hold on. Don't put that on me. I got 3 inches on Mighty Mouse, all right?
Is he really only 5'3"?
Yeah.
Dang.
Let me look. He's not hitting definitely not hitting 5'5". Yeah. 5'3".
Dang. Oh, that's wild.
So, your girl's got height on Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Okay? Mighty Mouse looks like I look to you.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be small. Or
Well,
under 5'7".
yeah. I mean, I think that's fair though, because every time I hear that, I don't ever hear necessarily like big people want to be small as much as like small people want to be big.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
you don't want to give up size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd hate to be tiny and walking around. Because anybody could just pick you up. Like, that'd be scary.
Yeah, but if you were like athletic and a specimen like DJ, you'd be the like imagine like DJ in that match where he was the Dragon Slayer. Yeah.
Being thrown.
Well, he was, and then he got out of it and held his own, and then ended up choking Big Boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's more impressive than like had dude beat DJ. It was like, that was that was supposed to happen.
Or like Gabby Garcia smashing a normal size lady. Like that's not super impressive.
No. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot of size. I feel like I'm above average height. Average height is 5'5". Girl's 5'6".
Yeah.
On the dot. When I notice if I get around other people who are 5'5" or even 5'4", I don't know. I feel like I have a small but bigger frame for my height.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel tall. I just feel like bigger around those people.
Mm-hmm.
More than like I only got an inch on you. Like I feel like the size difference is noticeable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean you do wear like a size 9 shoe, right?
10.5, 11, and a 9 in men's. I wear a 9 in men's.
Yeah, we wear like the same size shoe.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So you probably do just have a bigger frame, but
should be way taller.
Yeah.
Big feet, big hands, body. Just went that way.
That's all right.
Use it.
Yeah, you got an awesome half guard.
Hey, it works out. See? And then if I grab you, you got to get out of these mitts.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no Fred hands, but
yeah, I was just thinking about
that. He probably dwarfed that bottle.
Probably.
Yeah. So pick your size. You want to be big for a day, you want to be little. Whatever it is. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm looking at this time here. I'm like, ooh, we gotta get busy.
I could just tell Carl I'm gonna be late.
I mean, okay. Well, moving on. We won't spend a lot of time on this, but just to give some updates on some new UFC news. Vacating championships have happened. International Fight Week, new fights announced. UFC fight nights, UFC events are happening weekly now because we're in the new year. Things are just going to be pumping up. So check your local stuff. But some big news. So former now UFC featherweight, Ilia Topuria, I thought he was going to try to seek double champ status and move up to lightweight to fight Islam at 155. Or he's at featherweight, not bantamweight, featherweight, 145. But UFC has now officially done away with the idea of double champ status. So if you decide to move up, you got to vacate your title.
Yeah, and that's kind of wild.
Yeah, so now we have Alexander Volkanovski fighting Diego Lopez for the vacant title at UFC 314.
Nice. Is that the next one? Or is that coming up
Um,
soon?
I think I was trying to think like when. Let me see. So we actually have UFC 13 as the next pay-per-view, which will be Alex Pereira and Ankleev with co-main event Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. So that's going to be Saturday, March 8th. And then 314 after all these, there's a lot of fight nights. But there's 2 back-to-back pay-per-views. So there's going to be 314 Saturday, April 12th, and then UFC 315 Saturday, May 10th. And actually, UFC 315 is going to be where we see Valentina Shevchenko defend her title again against Manon Fiorot. But going back to UFC 14, Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopez are going to be the headliners for the featherweight title, with the co-main event being Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett.
Nice. Patty.
Yep, that'll be an interesting fight. I don't know if I like it, but you know,
We'll see
it.
what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Also on that card, it looks like we've got Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. We got Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. So Patricio Pitbull, I think he's coming from not Bellator. Forgot where he's coming from. It's just skipping me right now. But that's going to be his UFC debut. He was a champion in the former organization that he was in. We'll also get to see the one name I can't pronounce always, Verna Jandaroba. Verna. This should be a good fight. Strawweight women's fight against, I think it's Xianan Yan. She had tried it. She came up. She was a contender. Had fought Wei Li, I think, last year, and actually made it pretty competitive. She was the other Chinese fighter, so that might be a banger. We got Dan Eagle versus Sean Woodson, featherweight fight, and then we got Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. Sedquis Dumas versus Michael Olachek, something like that, and then Samundre G versus Mitch Raposo, and Roberto Montez versus Roberto Romero will be UFC 314 in Miami, April 12th.
Nice.
Yes. I was also gonna say that there was also International Fight Week that was announced, I believe. And I'm trying to figure out which, because that's usually in June or July, which might be the fight card that Ilya's going to be fighting on. If I can find that.
Yeah, I like that we're now having fights almost every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't had that in a while.
At all. Yeah, because once you get towards the end of the year, they're just like, this is what we're doing. Oh, there's a fight night, and randomly I just saw this on Reddit. So there's a fight night happening in Des Moines, Iowa, May 3rd. Just FYI.
Dang. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I'll think about that.
Mark it down.
Yeah, I want to go, but probably can't.
Hey, put it on the list though. Okay, well, it looks like, they've announced UFC International Week, but not seeing any fights announced on that as of yet. So, yeah, we got a bunch of fight nights. and pay-per-views. So, all right, I guess we'll keep you posted on what that looks like as that comes up. But that's some new UFC news on that. Real quick, honestly, we don't really need to spend a lot of time on this. I just had seen it. No more Jake Paul and Canelo. That fight. Scrap. Yeah. Shouldn't even been announced anyway. I didn't want to watch that.
Yeah, me neither. I wasn't going to watch it. I'm done. I'm done with Jake Paul.
Done with them. Yes, done. I wasn't ever on them, but I don't want to be not on that train anymore. Israel Adesanya. Let me pull that up. And I'm not sure if it's, and maybe it's just him being real. You know, from his recent loss that he had a couple of weeks ago. He had that knockout loss or TKO loss. And he had just came out and said that because that was his third loss in a row. Yeah. And so he's saying he's not expecting to be a champion again. So getting this off of MMAmania.com, Adesanya has shifted his mindset away from fighting for a title. So it says here that where does Izzy go from here? It's not exactly clear to anyone, not even Adesanya himself. He talked about the shift in mindset during an extensive Q&A on his YouTube channel. Quote, do I have a title shot in mind for the future? No. I'll say this. When I got to the UFC, I never chased the belt. I expected it. I expected to be champion. I expected to get to this point that I wanted to get to because of the work I put in and the mindset, the belief I knew with everything I did, I was going to get it. After the DDP fight, I remember thinking, oh, well, cool. It'll come around. I don't have to chase it because I expect it. I just know it will. But after this fight with Imavov, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not expecting anything. I'm not expecting to be champion again. Like I said, if what I've done in this game doesn't make me happy already, then what will? Adesanya concluded, so I'm not expecting it. If it comes, I'll take it with both hands, but I'm not expecting it. I'm kind of just chilling and living and training, doing well. And yeah, when it happens or if it happens, but I'm just not expecting it. Thoughts?
Right. Sounds like Izzy.
I mean, do you think if he's not expecting it, but he's talking like that, do you see another legit title run happening for him?
He's been looking pretty bad, you know? Yeah. Like, yeah, his past 3 fights have been pretty bad. So I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like he's kind of like done chasing that high, you know? Like he's just content with where he's at. Which is fine. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to know when. You know, it's kind of like literally the same thing that we were talking about last week with Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's we understand where our bodies are aging. We've talked about that as we notice the difference. Our preparation looks different. We're not able to move or do certain things in the same ways that we used to. And so having to come to that acknowledgement and that reality, it's like, that's okay. Yeah, you can say a decline. I don't like the word decline. We're talking about age and athleticism. I just say you're just moving you're moving into a different journey at that point. So you have to figure out how to train and, you know, what things you need to do to maintain, hopefully extend your longevity in it, while your mentality in what it takes to get yourself to the best place that you can get at that particular time is probably the single most important thing. Obviously, physical capabilities, yes, and a Travis Kelce is not going to be moving the same at 36 years old as he did when he was 26. But what he said, and I think is kind of happening with Izzy, and you saw it in before the Sean Strickland fight, is he just seemed like he was starting to check out. Mm-hmm. So when you start to check out, you're not training as much. You don't have that same hunger, that same grit. Say the same thing about Conor McGregor when he got all that money.
Yeah. Yeah, and I bet it's hard to stay, like, to keep that mentality once you reach the top too. You know, like once you've already been there, it's probably like you've already met that goal. So
Yeah.
it's, I don't know, it's probably hard to get in that mindset to keep chasing that.
Oh yeah, because when you're originally chasing it, it's just like that's all you can think about. Eat, sleep,
Mhm.
breathe. I mean, you could even get in an issue where you're starting to then like chase what you already accomplished and the same
Mhm.
feelings. This high wasn't high enough. I'm like chasing that first time I won the belt again. Like you're never gonna have that experience again, but you keep chasing it and chasing it. It's just not good. You're gonna fail every time.
Mhm. Yeah. So it's probably smart that he knows his place.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what's coming. Like that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's valid, but I also think I'm curious what his last three fights would have looked like despite age and all of that had he been more locked in than he
Mhm.
previously was and had that same fire.
Yeah. Yeah, because if he would have been doing good and if he would have won those 3 fights, he'd still be on a roll right now. You know,
Yeah.
he'd he'd probably still be happy at the top.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, that has to be rough though to be like champion level and then get knocked down.
In those ways, your first loss, you lose the title to somebody arguably embarrassingly beat you, Sean Strickland, that
Mm-hmm.
nobody thought would beat you and not beat you in that way. And then your second fight trying to reclaim the title, you had made this huge thing, and there was this personal beef with you and Dreykus, all because of like the African, South African stuff.
I
And
forgot about
right,
that.
and like he completely like went out of like character, was super emotional and reactive, and then you get TKO'd by somebody who I think maybe had just gotten to the top 10. So
Mm-hmm.
he's wrecked mentally right now.
Yeah, yeah, he's going through you're like Rhonda.
Yes, at least he's handling it a lot better and healthier than she is.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know how to let that go.
Yeah.
Like she came into she she came into that comeback fight where she was out here shadow boxing or whatever that was before she came to fight Amanda Nunez, before everybody knew, like we knew who Amanda was, but nobody really wanted to respect Amanda for where she was at. And that was Ronda Rousey, a bunch of yes people around her and her not acknowledging where she was at skill level when it
Mm-hmm.
came, and then got lit up like the Three Ninjas little dummy doll, just like ding ding ding. I've never seen somebody. It was like I could see, like in Sonic when he collected all these coins and then you get hit. Like I could see the coins leaving her with every hit that connected. Yeah, but obviously by the end she had no more coins to give.
Yeah. All out.
Yeah. Hands down funniest shadow boxing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I need to pull that up and watch that again.
Never gets old because she's so serious about it too. I'm like, is this a parody? Like, I don't. What's
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah. Rhonda. Always talking shit on Rhonda.
Yep. Yeah. Can't stand Rhonda.
I know. Well, she's also just annoying because she's like, everybody hates me.
Look in the mirror and figure out what led to that. Dang. No kind of self awareness or reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Tragic. Don't get me started on her. All right, quick mention. If Cade Rotolo, the Rotolo brothers, he won his third MMA debut at 171 in Qatar by arm triangle. So that just recently happened.
Mm-hmm.
Cool to see them him in MMA.
He looked good.
Mm-hmm. It was in the first round too, wasn't it?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his jujitsu's good. It was clean. All his transitions were clean and nice. He was throwing some heavy shots.
Okay, so we're striking,
Yeah.
getting a little better with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Do you watch a lot of One?
I don't.
Yeah, me
The
neither.
only updates I would kind of get from that is when DJ was in it.
Mm-hmm. It's on Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'd probably go back. I think you could probably rewatch. Maybe. I don't know. Prime's kind of weird. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Anything else content wise before we move forward on our topic?
No, don't really
All
have any
right.
updates or anything.
Yeah. Well, our topic of the week, Dirty 30 Enlightened Ones. Here we go. Aggro. Aggressiveness. In a good way, though. So let's
Yeah.
break this down. That's right. The art of aggressive mentality and aggressive jujitsu. Immediately when we say that, what comes to mind for you?
Mm, I mean, I don't know. People calling me out and saying I'm aggressive, but I don't like I know I am, but I don't think I'm too aggressive.
No. It
Okay.
it no, it's not aggressive where it's driven by, and we'll get to this. It's not aggressiveness that's driven by anger. You're just a high energy person. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you're moving.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like imposing. And people can think imposing is aggressiveness. And I mean, that's fair. But it's not. The stereotype would be like, even us saying the word aggressive to people would be like, oh, no, we're breaking the
Mm-hmm.
stigma. It's not a bad thing. It's about how you're using it. You're using it to get to positions. You're not
Mm-hmm.
doing dirty moves. You're aware of your body.
All right. Thanks, Deja.
Yeah. Exactly. Now there's a difference, right? Of now if I'm being aggressive as like the newbie, who, maybe I've been there a little bit and I feel like I need to have something to prove versus I'm just spazzing because I don't know what to do. And I'm kind
Mm-hmm.
of right. Or the aggressiveness of the ego of
Mm-hmm.
anybody, but let's say big dudes and like just getting aggressive because maybe like the smaller person is tearing them up and then they start getting
Mm-hmm.
aggressive and using their size and their strength over technique. But there is a beautiful art in being able to use that aggressiveness um, in all of martial arts, but specifically in jujitsu, because like there's times to be passive and there's times to get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been working on that lately, like when to calm down, and
Yeah.
when to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like trying to figure that out.
Just want to go. I just want to
I
get to the
know.
end.
I know.
It's
It's
hard.
yeah, it's hard to slow down and just like think through things a little more, just being a little more patient, using pressure in certain areas instead of just trying to go because
Yeah.
that is what I kind of do. I just want to go.
Which is fine. So it's about like, how do I use that? How do I use that in my jujitsu? How do I use that in my fighting, and whatnot? And I think you've already done it over the last year or two. Naturally, just kind of started to slow down a little bit, but you're still you.
Mhm.
I think the more you'll continue to feel positions and like the sharper your technique gets, you feel positions differently.
Mhm.
You'll start to kind of like outside of like I'm trying to figure out when to know when to disengage or when to know when to slow down. But a lot of that knowing is going to come. It's the feeling. It's like we can't explain a lot of stuff to new people, or we try to, but it really is like they just have to feel it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Like I can tell, right? Like I can tell if, even if I can see, even if it still happens, I can tell if I'm about to get swept with something or if I'm in a bad position or if I need to put some more pressure in a certain area or if I don't have enough pressure, I can feel where somebody else is going. Like it is a no, but it's based off of the feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
That just comes with mat time, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool to know that that's coming. Like the amount of info you can get from feel that's
Mm-hmm.
out there and that's coming eventually.
Yeah, because it registers to your body like, oh, this isn't where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like when I got a little better. It's probably because Matt hasn't been doing it to me as much. I've been maybe a little nicer about it and let me work. I don't know. But like the headquarters position, like working with Matt, like I
Mm-hmm.
always know because he plays his half guard on the opposite side of people, so it throws people because we usually pass one side, and usually you're
Mm-hmm.
playing on one side, but if somebody throws it off, you're like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So he plays on the opposite side, but then like switching over, he'll get you in that headquarters position, and he can dump you, right? And then there's a
Mm-hmm.
sweep there, or then he comes up with the leg. And it's like, so I know if I'm sitting, and it used to be when I was first trying to nullify that little hook or that little hook in headquarters that he had that would lead to me being dumped. I'm like, I'm sitting and I feel like I'm heavy, and I was, but I wasn't. So I'm actually utilizing more energy and I wasn't in the right spot. And it wasn't until like months later, I'm like, I just needed to shift my body. I still needed to feel what I felt at the foundation, but then once I continued to go into the roots of it, right, and solidify it out, then you start
Mm-hmm.
making those little tweaks and it just feels way differently. It's like Heidi's pressure, right? Like she has the pressure of a 200 plus pound man
Mm-hmm.
because she just knows where to apply it.
Yeah. I miss rolling with Heidi. Like, come on, Heidi. Finish tax
she's
season.
dang. She's got a couple in there, a little bit, but and recovering from sickness.
Mm-hmm. I know. Gotta give Heidi
You're
time.
like, come on, Heidi.
Yeah, it's fun learning from that though. Like learning from feel
Mm-hmm.
of other people's pressure and just feel of other people. Like
Yeah,
learning in that sort of way.
100%.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Taylor, like she's a white belt, she just started and she was saying that she's learning from feeling what I'm doing, you know? And
yeah.
it took me back when started and I was doing the same thing. I think it's awesome learning just off of body movement.
Mm-hmm. That's how you right. And we all learn differently. Like some people are more like even when we like sit and drill stuff. If you're talking at me and you could show it to me, and I'm like, okay, I think I got it. I don't at all. I need to do it before it actually registers. If I do it once, I'm like, okay, that's familiar for me or whatever. It's not
Mm-hmm.
it's not just if I saw it once or if somebody explained it to me in a different way kind of once. Like I literally have to move my body and feel it one time, then I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so much more detail too, like feeling.
Mhm.
Like you can explain something, but you don't pick up the tiny little things until you feel it.
Yeah. Well, even like you being your size, right? Like we talked about we were doing that drill of like trying to pass like half guard or whatever we were or it was side control or scarf hold.
Scarf hold.
And I was still able to like find a little space.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like the concept is there. The foundation is fine. Like, yeah, put your knee on like close to the hip, put your other knee by their shoulder. But um it was then you trying to adjust now to figure out, okay, where am I giving up space in this particular move because of my body?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's where it's tough because we're all shaped different. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're all different, so we can't all do the same thing in the
Yeah.
same way.
That's the beauty of it.
I know. That's why it's so cool because we all have our own little journeys and paths because we're built different.
Yeah. Some shit is gonna work for you that's not gonna work for me, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. That north south choke was not for Beth and I last night. That that north south choke that we did,
Mm-hmm.
we both couldn't. We didn't have the feel on
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit with it. I was just,
Hmm.
but I was partners with Juliana, and I'm like, you're not tapping, and I'm not gonna smash your head, you
Yeah.
know, like no feedback or anything. Like I had to just get up because I was like, is she out? Like she was just laying there.
Come
Like
on,
I have, yeah,
Juliana. Dang.
but I do want to get better at that.
Yeah.
Marcel choke, because I got long skinny arms, so
Mhm.
I'm like, that'd be good for me. I just gotta get the feel.
Yeah. Or darces, anacondas, that's your thing for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah, just working on it. I think the Darce choke finally clicked for me earlier this week. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, I figured out where the pressure needed to be. But it took me until now, like we've gone over that so many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, just little things that you just gotta get the mat time in before you're like, oh, just this tiny little fix can happen from a different pressure angle.
Yeah. So you're doing it. You're moving, getting that
Yeah,
experience. Heck yeah.
just takes time.
That's it. Another thing with that, control control plus pressure versus speed and flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
My preference is control and pressure and mix in a little bit of that speed, minimal flexibility, but we're in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to use more pressure and slow down.
Yeah.
I like speed. Like I like
Mhm.
speed and flexibility. I just want to run through stuff.
I want to run. I respect that. Yeah. I don't know. I like controlling. Like I just like to be methodical.
Mm.
That's
Mhm.
really sad. Like one, that's just like my style, that's my type, but it's also very internally satisfying to like slowly deflate someone's balloon.
Yeah. Yeah, Sam's been passing me and he uses pressure. Like he's getting really good
Yeah.
and that it does suck when somebody's passing you slowly.
Yeah.
Just very gently and slowly.
Mhm. Cuz it's so much pressure.
No, it just doesn't seem right. Like, I don't know.
Well, if you like, well, because you're carrying their weight for one, you're trying to like, you're not dead body, so you're clenched up while they're clenched up, right? Versus just kind of explosive movement to where you're like, okay, and now I can breathe. You don't have a
Mhm.
space to breathe.
Mhm. Just a slow kill.
That's right. That's why I was like, yep, you just gotta know. All right, I'm gonna get you at 3:30 because you're gonna start slowing down after about 3 minutes.
Mhm. Damn. Do
So
you
mix it in. What?
Yeah, do you do that with roles knowing like, oh, this person's gonna be tiring out
Yeah,
halfway through?
yeah.
That's cool. Like, just planning that is kind of cool because I don't even think about that.
Well, because it's just like I know, like I know you're not gonna get tired, so I just have to try to figure out how to
Mm-hmm.
control the energy so I can manage.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not gonna get tired. Um, like I know that some folks who, if they might be explosive for like a minute or two, but I can like literally, I'm like, okay, I know you can't keep this pace. This
Mm-hmm.
person can't keep this pace for 2 minutes. And then I literally feel it in their body slow down.
Dang. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then I'm like, got him.
That's awesome.
Because at that point, now it's going to get bad for them.
For them, yeah.
Yeah, because you're tired. I'm just going to be like heavier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense though. Why you just keep me in your half guard and don't let me move on you.
No. It's like at that point, now I'm like, now I'm playing like trying to wrangle, like trying to get the rope and just wrangle all like this. No, I need to keep you here so I can try to do what I want to do. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't always work, but it's what we got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang, I need to start game planning my roles a little bit more. Like just timing things out.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, you already do. You just don't think about it. You roll
Mm-hmm.
with everybody a certain way.
Yeah.
Like I know, like Nikki and I know how we're gonna how our roles are gonna be. You
Mm-hmm.
probably know how your
Yeah,
roles
you're
are gonna
right.
be with Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and it is different. Like coming off of like earlier this week, I was rolling with Jackson, and then I
Mm-hmm.
rolled with you afterwards, and I think I was just hyped from Jackson's roll because it's a continuous roll.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I need to calm down because like your energy was pretty chill, and I know I was like being aggro, and I was like, I need to meet you.
It's a good balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are just different. Exactly. With Jackson, I'm like, this dude ain't gonna get tired. He's just gonna
Hmm.
be one continuous thing. So keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun rolling with Jackson because we both just move a lot.
Yeah, and he knows how to like maneuver his body and whatnot, and use his
Hmm.
size appropriately.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um. Yeah, we pretty much already hit those. Okay, so last question on this topic of the week before we go to aggro talk. Do you wait for openings or do you create them?
Yeah, I was wondering what your answer was going to be on this.
Me?
Yeah.
Both.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I like wait for the opening, but it's also based off of my control dictating that opening.
Mm, yeah.
Like if I can help it, I'm going to try to corner you to where you only have a couple of options.
Dang. All right. Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like I'm forcing stuff. You know,
Mm.
like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure that out because um I don't know. Like I'm trying to find openings, but I feel like I'm not setting things up. I'm just trying to force certain things right now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like not force things, but
Yeah, it's I don't yeah, again I can tell you like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I don't even think I really even started to have an awareness of that until purple belt.
mhm.
And then really started to kind of like blossom in that way and it was like, okay, I'm realizing that I'm a counterpuncher. I'm not somebody who's going to punch first necessarily, but I'm more so going to counterpunch, but I'm also going to punch first to make you do something so I can counterpunch that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Like even if I don't have the sweep, let's say I'm not all fully in half guard, but I come up for butterfly, and I can't get a scissor sweep or like the elevator sweep or whatever. I'll put my foot on somebody's knee, right, and I'll have that arm drag and
Mhm.
see if I can kick that knee out, and then arm drag maybe if I can take your back. But if I don't get that initially, but you take the bait, I still moved you, and me moving you means that you're going to have to move back. So then I'm going to try. It doesn't always work, but I know that movement coming back, my counter to that is going to be trying to sweep you over here.
Mhm. See, that's so cool. Like it's so strategic. It's so cool because I don't think like that yet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe like I kind of do, but like I don't recognize it yet.
Yeah,
So that's awesome to hear from like an upper belt.
it's going to happen. Like, yeah, you're already doing it. You just don't realize.
Mhm.
It's more of a reaction right now versus like a reflection.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool though. It's cool knowing like the steps that are ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it comes. So keep
Mhm.
working, showing up every day. Aggressiveness is not bad, everybody. It can be utilized in great ways. Um, but are we ready to move to aggro?
Let's do it. Aggro top.
Aggro talk. I don't know if the drum should it be like
Oh, I
a
don't
little bit
know.
like rage, like it's not very zen, right?
Yeah, I don't know if my drum can play aggro. Like I got
Like fast.
that that's the lowest. I feel like these are too beautiful sounding to be like aggro.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna rock with it though. We can still be our aggro self in this zen aura.
Hmm.
Yes.
We need a different instrument for aggro talk.
Dang.
What's something aggro?
Probably ooh. I got it. Hold on, everybody. Give me one quick second.
Yeah.
Shout out to my buddy Steve. I got this from him a while ago. Now, I feel like it could be, you know, harmonica. Okay. Let's see.
All right, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, that's right. A little aggro harmonica out here. Yeah, so we're gonna rock with that. Um, yeah, so move into our aggro talk. Aggression versus recklessness. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
What's the balance and can both be used together? My initial answer of that would be no.
You don't think they could be used together?
Because if you're being reckless, you're kind of going in with no regard.
Mm.
I can still be going in with some kind of regard or mindfulness being aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that. But also I feel like you can have both at the same time too.
Okay, hit me with it.
Like if you're fighting, you have to have some sort of recklessness to be a fighter,
Okay.
or
Yeah,
else you
that's
probably
fair.
wouldn't be fighting. And then also, I mean, you got to be aggressive too. Like you got to have both if you're fighting. I think with jujitsu, like it's a little bit different, but like if you're for real fighting, you need to be a little bit reckless.
You're right. I mean, yeah. Uh Jiu-jitsu, I would say no.
Mm-hmm.
Um I would say more so like free, but like a little bit of that recklessness in MMA or like the combat, boxing or whatever, controlled recklessness and
Mm-hmm.
using the energy of aggressiveness. I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah, but for jujitsu now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be training with anybody reckless in jujitsu.
At all. That's a number one way to have an injury.
Mm-hmm. Or get elbowed in the face.
Exactly. I need people that care more about my safety than their own when we are rolling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and you can be as aggressive as you want, and you can control that. You can
Mm-hmm.
not be reckless.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I mean, the third, point is like you can turn aggression into a useful weapon, as Michaela does. It's a useful
Mm-hmm.
weapon. It's an impact, and as long as you're able to regulate it, maneuver with it, it can be a very significant positive thing to be able to use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's one of my things that helps me out the most.
That's you.
I don't know.
Don't lose it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's fun when you're more aggressive because people don't know how to handle that.
They don't.
And you
Yeah.
can see it, like you can see it in people, like you can see how frustrated they get because they're like, "Oh shit, like
Yeah. It's like, oh,
I wasn't expecting this."
no. You know who I would say also has that energy like you? But in their way, Marcella.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's got that like fire, like
Mm-hmm.
when she's passing or it's with intention to the point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Dang, haven't rolled with her in forever.
Yeah. Shout out Marcella, I love you.
Yeah, miss you.
But yeah, know when to use it, turn it into a weapon and not against yourself, right?
Mm.
Externally turning into a weapon because aggression used towards yourself can be a weapon of detriment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah. Internal aggression doesn't feel fun sometimes.
At all. Wound up.
Get two in your head.
Yep. Ugh, ugh. Absolutely not. So find your aggressive energy, enlightened ones, in a controlled state. Aggression, not anger. There is a big difference there. And aggression, non-recklessness, depending on where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
I did have another question here, but
Yeah.
I'm going to skip that for next time. Or not
All
next
right.
time, but it was going to just be more of a deep dive because I was like, did you ever play Mortal Kombat?
Oh, yeah, I never played. Yeah, I saw your question. I was looking up characters. Yeah, I haven't played Mortal Kombat.
Dang, we need to get you over here to play some Mortal Kombat.
All
It's
right,
a great game.
I'm kind of like a button masher. Like I don't know
That's
what I'm
okay.
doing.
You're like Emily. Probably win all the time. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know. I'm doing all the special moves.
just spamming moves. I'd be down to play though.
It's fun. I was actually just thinking, I was like, dang, I wish I could get like maybe I look into the updated Mortal Kombat. Because I think I got the game. Mortal Kombat's been like one of my staples. Like I'm not a huge gamer, but when I play games, I always have all the UFC games. I've usually always had the Mortal Kombat games and Call of Duty, and then there's definitely going to be some racing games.
Yeah,
staples.
nice.
Yep. And then good old Tony Hawk Pro Skater. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Great
All right.
selection.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm more of the Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto player.
Okay. Yeah.
I like chill.
Love Grand Theft Auto 2. I got 5. Been waiting on 6. We're supposed to be getting that this year. I guess we'll see.
Nice. Yeah. We should have a Mortal Kombat night for a lock-in.
On the projector.
Oh, that'd be sweet. We could all play each other.
Noted. Have a little tourney.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, brackets.
Dang. Okay. Noted. We got it.
All right, for Matt's birthday.
Locked in. March, it's coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sensei turned 50.
Heck yeah. All right. Anything else for this before we get to our quote?
No.
All right. Well, Dirty 30 for you all for Aggro. No Zen today. This is our quote. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Buddha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not wrong.
2 times. Here we go again. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Buddha. So, let that anger go. Keep the aggression alive, but not the recklessness depending. And embrace your inner aggro.
Mm-hmm. Aggro.
Yeah, so any last messages for the peeps out here?
Not really. Sorry, peeps.
Right. It's all right. Enlightened ones, we appreciate you joining us again. Thanks for being loyal listeners as we give you our Dirty 30th episode.
Yeah.
Be consistent out here. Enlightened gang. Keep doing what you need to do. Gain insight into self. Keep leveling up. Keep watering and building your trees. And we're going to be officially out of this cold snap soon. So let the energy ride.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is Deja.
This is Michaela.
And Chokes and Consciousness here with y'all again. Talk to you next time.
Peace.